Hey, Simply Sugar here with the evening news rundown. Let's get right to it. So, if the budget cuts the Republicans want to put in place regarding Medicare and Medicaid go through, millions of Americans will lose their health care benefits. Health care benefits that they've probably paid into, that I've paid into. And hey, if you need Medicaid or Medicare is something you pay into as you're working. Medicaid is government assistance. Millions of working people get Medicaid. They just don't make enough to have health care. So the government subsidizes that health care for them so that, they can get their medication. They can have babies. They can, live. But we don't want that, right? We want to cut them. Not everyone who gets Medicaid doesn't work. Most people do work and get Medicaid, if you're unfamiliar with that. Florida City Commissioner Tony Ortiz is switching from Republican to Democrat. I hope that's a trend that's going to go forward. Now, I don't necessarily trust any of this because I live in a city where Mayor Adams switched parties. He was a Republican and then claimed to be a Democrat, was elected, and we see how he has aligned himself and what he's done here in New York. In other news, a federal judge says you cannot send undocumented migrants or immigrants to Libya. Now, the government wants to send these migrants to black sites because then they can treat them inhumanely without a watchful eye, right? Because if they remain here, they are subject to due process. We have to treat people humanely, right? Because these are people, these are women, these are children, these are human beings who just wanted a better life for their family. If that's their only crime, which I don't feel that's a crime. Yeah, do we want people to come here the rightful way? Absolutely, of course, because this way we can control the, population here in the U.S. and how we can allocate funds. It all has to be controlled. But I'm not so cruel to get rid of these people without due process and without an opportunity to remain. I'm not going to want them to, go to a concentration camp like so many so-called Christian nationalists. In other news, Trump is not only pushing Teslas, he's now pushing Starlink. And this looks to be as a negotiation caveat he's using in reference to tariffs. Listen, if you buy Starlink, maybe we can work out a deal as to where we won't tariff your country. And we love that for us, don't we? We love a president that has a side hustle. Jefferson Griffin finally concedes to Allison Riggs in the North Carolina Supreme Court race. She won by 700 some odd votes. It was a long, contentious legal battle, but that concession finally happened, and North Carolina can move forward. That is and no new pope yet. There was at least one vote. It was Black Smoke. Now, I grew up Catholic. I don't claim to be Catholic anymore. I'm more of a spiritual person. I do believe in God, and I do believe in Jesus Christ. I just don't align myself with the so-called Christian values of this country, because if Christian values means hating people and judging people, yeah, I don't want any part of that. But anyway, no new pope yet. I find the whole system fascinating, the conclave and all its secrecy. It's a rabbit hole I crawl into. But anyway, that's the news. I'm Simply Sugar.